Action. We'll just wait for some people to come on. We'll just wait for some people. I don't have any people yet. No. One. We've got one person. 3. Hi, Sherry. Hi from Littleton. Hi, Roxy. Hi, Marie. I will call you later, Marie. I did get your message. Hello, ladies. Welcome to everybody. Got about 40 people already. Wow. Thank you for joining me today. I hope I have a cute project for you today. This will kind of be an ongoing one, even though it's very individual. Hi, Karen. Hi, Val. Hello, everybody. We're about up to 60 people, so let's go ahead and get started. We do have a couple of things to announce in the calendar. Tomorrow, we do have Viking Club, so look for your invitation to come out to you this afternoon. That's tomorrow at 10 o'clock, and that's all virtual. And then on Thursday, I'm doing an in-store applique class. It's going to be a little different than today's, but I did understand that some people, after seeing the project last week, were interested in doing some applique. So we're going to do some applique today. And then don't forget that on Saturday, it's the Kimberbell Zoom event Rewind for the 80s. How fun. And also Floriani Software Club with Nancy. And we are also doing a Soups on Open Sew here in the Littleton store. So just let us know you're coming. I make the soup, and everybody brings a little appetizer or something to share, and we all sew all day long, or you sew all day long. Not me, but okie dokie. Let's see. So that's our announcements for today. And then we have a winner, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the phone so you can see. And then, so our winner today is going to win this cute little set of coasters and a little table mat. And these are going to go to Bev Egger from the Littleton store. Yay, Bev! I hope you're watching today. So, okay, we'll put those out of the way. And then I do have a couple of jokes, but there's nobody here with me to laugh at them. So you're all going to have to give me some laughs. I hope you're going to like these. So I'm on the snowman kick again. This is our project for today. And this is from a book called Count on It. And I just love snowmen, especially for January. So it is a little table topper applique design. And it is, there's one for each month. And it has very, very simple, you can see the pieces are very big. So it's really simple applique, which is fun. And these would be good if you want to try to use your IQ Designer or your 990 and learn how to do all the decorative stitches and put them into your embroidery. These would be perfect projects to do that for, because they are really big pieces and pretty simple. And I'm going to show you, I love applique and I love art to heart, so this is easy for me. So I'm going to show you how to incorporate some of the more decorative stitches into this. You don't always have to use just a satin stitch or a blanket stitch, although the blanket stitch is one of my favorites. But you can see that I've put some stars into here, and for the one today I've decided I'll show it to you in a little bit. And your kit will include the buttons also, and I lost one of his mouth buttons, so it's okay. Snowmen are never ever all even, are they? So we do have a kit for today, and the kit is $8.99. And then let me show you the book that it comes from. So it's called Count on It, and you can see it has different 12 by 12 mini quilts for each month, and so they are all very cute. And it does have some other numbers and letters in it and everything, so you can even do cupcakes for birthdays, put up somebody's birthday. We do have the stands available also. So the 12 by 14 inch stand does not come with the topper. It is just plain like that. And then we do have, you can buy a topper to go on there. And I have a topper on mine. So let me tell you my jokes, and then I do want to discuss one more thing before we actually get started sewing. So you can look at my half-done snowman right here. So what do you call an old snowman? Water. Ha 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 ha. Somebody laugh over there. How does a snowman get to work? Bicycle. 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 What did the police officer say? What did the police officer say when he saw the snowman stealing? Freeze! Okay. Well, I just want to go over the Happy Hues quilt that I'm going to be doing. Let me show it to you over here. So it's draped over the table here. Don said he would come pick it up for me, but I don't know. He's moving very slow. Do you want me to or no? So that's okay. I think they got the idea. Okay. So it's not quite finished yet. You can see I have the two side borders on, but I do not have the bottom or the top border on. And I know Kate showed this on Comment Sold last week for to sell kits, but she did not have, I don't think she read all the information that I gave to her, so I want to go over this again. So this is a free pattern. It's from Quilt. Well, actually, I think it's from a magazine, but it's called Happy Hues Quilt Top. The Quilt pieces, I'm going to teach it as an Quilt class. And the pieces that you need are an 8-inch cube and strip dies of 1.5 inch, 2 inch, and 2.5 inch. And that's all you need, and it will make the entire quilt. If you do not have AccuQuilt, but you still want to make this and join us, I'm doing a hands-on class here in the store, and then I also will be doing it on live. We probably will not go as fast as they show that they go, the blocks, because I will not be able to do that many in an hour. So it'll go a little bit longer than 6 months. But you can do it in rotary cutting with rotary cutting also. I will be putting all the AccuQuilt directions plus the rotary cutting directions up on the live when I do it on live, and those will be all up on the website. Again, it's a free design. I'll do it on live and in store. If you purchase a kit from me and you want to come to the in-store classes, those are free. And I'm doing it in 2 different colorways. So the kit is $160, and you can pick either the black background, which I have here, or there you can pick white background fabric. So if anybody has any questions on it, please just give me a call here at the store and I will answer all of your questions. We are going to be starting it in February here in the store. I'll probably do it at the same time, approximately the same week on the live. And yes, we'll probably be doing it once a month because that's what we will meet in the store once a month, and you definitely would have some homework, sewing homework. Who minds sewing homework? Nobody that I know of. Okay, so if there's any questions, just let me know, and I can certainly go through that again. And so today I am sewing on the Bernina 770. This is the Quilters edition machine. And we're going to go show you some different decorative stitches in here. But I first want to go over applique yet. If no one has ever done applique before in their life, I just want to go through some of the steps. And so I'm going to set the phone right here. So I have not cut out my letter N for January. And I have to say, I think my little snowman for today came out a little bit fatter than he did the other day, so he must have been having a snack. So the first thing you're going to get is your steam-a-seam or your heat and bond, that type of a paper. And you're going to find the letter or the outline that you need to make. So I am doing a capital N today. And the nice thing about these books is it's all in reverse for you, because you're going to be putting this on the back of your fabric, and when you turn it the right way, you want to be able to spell. So these are all reversed for you already, which is really nice. So I'm going to take, you can see that there's 2 sides of the paper, and one of them is very rough. That's going to have the glue side, and the other side is just paper. So I'm going to put the paper down on top of my pattern, and if you have a hard time seeing through these patterns, the paper, you can take it either up to the window or you can get a light box. I'm not having any problems with it. So I'm going to get my pen, and of course I just put lotion on so it's slipping all over the place. Try to bring this as close to the phone as possible so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to take my Sharpie marker, and I'm just going to start drawing over the lines of the letter N as we're doing in today. Now, am I super precise? No, I get as close to the line as I can, but you know what? When I go to cut this out, I'm not super precise at cutting it out too. So you can see I did a little blob there. That's okay. Okay, so there's my N. There it is. I'm going to cut away because I conserve a lot. So I'm going to cut away all this extra paper, get rid of that, and put my book away, get my fabric. So here's the correct side of my fabric. Here's the wrong side of my fabric. I'm going to place this on the wrong side of my fabric, and I'm going to get my iron, and of course it wasn't hot, and I'm going to press this. I'm going to just press it just enough to get it stuck, and then I'm going to turn it over and press from the fabric side. Okay, let me just check on it. Yeah. So when I drew this out, you can see I have extra paper all around it. When you draw it, you don't want to cut it out right on the line. That'll make it harder when you actually go to cut out the piece. So now we're going to cut directly on the line. And again, see how I can't cut perfect. So I cut off some of the black. It's okay. Get rid of that. Nobody but you is going to know if you cut over the line or not. There's where I made a little blob there. When I cut it, I just cut it straight. It doesn't really matter. So you don't have to spend a gazillion hours trying to draw your designs out. Okay? Perfect. And you can see my letter N now. Okay, let's get rid of the trash. Then you can take your scoring tool if you have one from embroidery, and this is where we're going to try to take the paper off of the back. If you don't have a scoring tool, you can use a pin, sharp pin, score that so you can get this paper peeled off, and because we pressed it, our sticky is all stuck to our fabric. And you're going to get your pattern that you're going to be working on, and you're going to place it on your piece, and you're going to press it down. So I've already pressed my little fat snowman, and I've already embroidered or appliqued some of these pieces, but I did want to show you how to put this on. I'm going to put that on there, and then I'm just going to iron it to steam it down. And when you're making these particular designs, they have you have your center piece of fabric, and then you're going to put your little borders on right away, so your designs actually spread out into the borders. It's kind of cute that way. Okay, so we're going to come back over here to our machine now. I've definitely got my open toe foot on the machine. Let me move my papers here and I can try to get that in front of the sewing machine a little closer. Okay, so we've got our open toe foot on the machine. Now, I picked this stitch. We're going to finish this stitch because my red is on here. I just started it because I wanted to look after I just thought about it. I thought, oh, we should make fringe on this scarf, not just snowflakes. We'll make some fringe. So what I did was I took my regular blanket stitch, which I absolutely love, and I'm going to make the length of what I call the arms. That's the little piece that comes out. So at this point, the normal size is a 2.3, and if you do have a Bernina, this is stitch number 1309. So I'm going to take the little arms and I'm going to make them come out much longer, and I think I had them at 5. I hope that's what it was, because of course I don't really remember now. Okay, and then we're going to continue to embroider this. So I just did this little piece here, and I'm going to continue this now. I do have the locking stitch turned on my machine. And what I'm watching is that the main part of the stitch is on my fabric. I also have the little sensor foot on, so it pops up and down for me when I get to where I want to turn. Foot number 23, no, I haven't tried that one. I've got 20 on the machine right now. But I will try that one. So, and you can see I'm just going slowly. All around these stitches. I'm just going to finish the bottom here, and then I should have done probably a little bit more, but as long as do one more stitch there. So practice with your different stitches. Don't always use the same stitch, because you can see, if you think about it, this is making really cute fringe. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to have it the same length or width that I have it. You have to do what works for you and what you like. I did try to get the February kit put together for today, but I just didn't get there. So next time we'll have the February kit available. But you definitely need this open toe foot, because you can see exactly where your needle is planting down into the fabric. And, you know, maybe after doing this, maybe I should have just done the fringe on the ends and not in the center. And that's possible too. I don't know that there's a way to program. Well, actually, there is a way to program the Solaris to stop. You use, I think there's some Target stickers that you got. That would be the way to do it. Sometimes we have to think. They have so many tools in these machines anymore. I think I've just done it for so long that so there are several different blanket stitches also that you can use. The traditional one that I like is the one I'm using today, where it comes forward once, over once, forward once, over once. Let me do it really slow. There it goes, over once, forward once, and then over, back and forth. So there's several that go back and forth several times, come out and do several times. You can even get some that, when it makes the little arm, it comes 3 times out. So you have to choose the one that you like, or use them all. Now I could have done this one a little bit heavier, maybe. But this is the stitch that I like. I think with the Solaris, you probably want to use those Target stickers, and you probably could use your sensor pen, that sensor wand also, there's probably a way to make that one work. And definitely with the Destiny, you have that sensor pen. You could make it work with that too. So he looks a little odd when he doesn't have his face on it yet. And I'm giving you those buttons to, and I will tell you they're little tiny things, and I just glued mine on. If you want to sew them on, you're certainly welcome to do that, but I hot glued. I also was in a little bit more of a hurry, so. Explain, please. What did you want me to explain? So I used, if you can see, the regular blankets, the same stitch on the arms, and on my letters, I just made the little arms, the little what I call arms coming out, or the fringe, I guess we could call it on this stitch, shorter. But it's the exact same stitch, and it looks so different. Okay, so I'm going to use my little tie off. I'll tie this off, and I'll cut it, and we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so there it is. Now, if your fringe stands up like that, you really just have to let me know because, wow, that's okay. It's a snowman, right? All right, so I'm going to come back over here, and I used little snowflakes to go around my, my snowman. So I'm going to come into my decorative stitches, and you're going to say, well, doesn't she remember where it is? And quite honestly, no, I don't. So we're going to just search a minute here and see when we can find our little snowflakes. Here it is right here. Okay, so I'm on menu 305. Let's do 305. And when I first did this, I thought, wow, that's just going to be way too big. So I am going to change the size of this. And so I'm going to come smaller with my stitches. And again, practice this if you want to before you actually put it on your okay, so I kind of like that. It looks like a small little snowflake now. And let me get my just little piece of practice. Of course, I'm going to do this in white, but let me do my little piece of practice here. And it's okay to do this, you know. Make sure you like the stitch before you put it on your actual project. Perfect. Okay, so there's my, can you see that little, there's the little snowflake. Now before, I brought it down to a size of the length of 5.5. It started at 15. So that's really quite small from what it originally was. I'm going to get my white thread out. And if you like to see your threads a little bit more, I've seen a lot of art to heart done with all black. I had a friend who did all of her applique in all black. around every single piece. And of course they really stood out. They're very, very pretty, but I like to make the threads the same color. Okay, so let's start over here by his head. And it's going to go ahead and do my tie off. Honestly, I could have made it a little bit bigger. Okay, tie it off. So if you tie them off, then you can just clip your threads and not really even worry about it. It's not going to come undone. Okay, continue around his head. Now, one thing I really like about the Bernina, and I will show it to you when we restart this on the next piece, is it gives me the exact position of where my needle is going to drop on the screen. So it's very nice to have that. So it doesn't always start in the middle. It could start on one of the snowflake points. But on the screen, it's going to give me a dot to tell me where that's going to start. That's very helpful. Okay, I'm going to come down here to his body, and let me show you where that little dot is right now. Can you see that? So it's not in the middle, it's right on the edge. Okay, so we only just have 2 more pieces that we're going to do today, and then I'll show you how to layer this all out, because these are just going to be turned items, but you do need to put a little hanger on the back of these so it will go hang on the nice piece that we have here, the Ackfeld hanger. And so, okay, let's get rid of the white. Let's do his nose, and his nose I'm actually going to do in a little zigzag stitch. So, or a satin stitch is what I'm going to do it in. So remember that you can use all different kinds of stitches. This is a good way for you to investigate all the stitches that you have on these wonderful machines. And use them. Okay, so I'm going to come back up here, close this stitch out. I'm going to go back to my quilting menu, and I think my satin stitch, where it was, right here, 1315. And I'm going to use it just the way it is. And again, you can see where my little dot is, so it's going to start, oops, sorry, I put my finger right in front of it. It's going to start on the inside part of his nose. There we go. And if your machine has that pivoting function where it just comes up just enough for you to rotate, absolutely use that to every benefit. Now, a lot of you ladies might have that feature in your machines, but don't know how to use it or set it up. If that's a question for you, make sure you come and ask us and we can help you get that set up. Okay, I'm going to cut off this long thread I have here. I'm going to do my tie-off piece. And remember, you don't, I'm using embroidery threads today because I like the look of the shininess to it. You don't have to use cotton threads. It's your project. You use what you want to use. Okay, so now I'm going to put on this gold and finish up my N, my letter N. And I'm going to come back to my favorite blanket stitch. So I know that's 1309, and it's still long, so I'm going to come back up here and put it back to its normal length, and I'm going to use it like that. Okay. So this snowman had a lot of dessert last night. He got a little chubbier than the original one. Not really. Must have just been the way I placed him on the fabric. But no, you know what? Nobody knows that but you and I, or only you. They're still so cute. Nobody looks at that like saying, oh, that A is too close to that N. No. Oh, by the way, I do have a piece of SF101 Shape Flex on the back of here to stabilize it from with all these decorative stitches on there. So that gives it a nice stabilization. And I also put SF101 on the back of my snowman because that's white fabric going on to blue fabric. I didn't want any shadowing going on there. So that's fused on there also. That actually really made it very nice. And you'll notice it's got, the snowman is that sparkly grunge. Ooh, so pretty. So pretty. If you're really brave, you can try to do your little snowflakes in either iridescent thread or metallic thread. That would be really fun. Okay, let's tie this off. cut that. Okay, so I have got all of my applique done. I'm happy with this. So now we're going to back this and make our little tabs for the back. So let me get mine over here. So I kind of have a little fun trick for making these little tabs. So your tabs are 3.5 by 2.5. Normally I would tuck under the 2 raw edges and stitch those up, but I'm just going to tuck them under for now. And this wasn't hot, so probably not going to stay, but I would definitely stitch these down. Okay, and then you're going to fold this in half. And press it to make a mark. Press line. Okay, and then you'll do that with the other one. Ouch. I'm hoping you can see this. Yeah. And then I'm going to press this in half. Okay, and then so you on my little quilt, let me turn this around. You can see my little tabs are just hanging right here. Okay, so you just slide this on and off of here. Okay, so to get those on without having to hand stitch them down here, I hope that doesn't fall off. I'm going to take my back piece and I'm going to make sure that's the 12-inch length. It's 13, it should be 12 by 12. So this is the top. I am going to place my little tabs in, approximately 2 inches from the edges. And I'm using the raw edge and I folded it here and I've got that middle piece. So I'm approximately 2 inches in from each end. And I'm going to pin those on or clip them on. Just have one pin here. Let me grab another pin if I can find one. And maybe you have all already done this type of little tab, but you can see again where I pressed it, that press line. We're going to come over to the machine and I'm going to get to a straight stitch. And I'll just leave this yellow in for now, it's fine. But I do want to come back to do a straight stitch. And I'm going to sew with a tie off on both of these ends. So, and it's going to be right on that stitch line, or that fold line. Remember where I put that fold line? I'm going to just stitch on that with this open. And I'm going to do my tie off when I get to the end. Cut it. And I'm going to do that on both those tabs. Okay, I'm going to come back over here. We're going to repress these up. So all the raw edges are now on the raw edge of the backing. I need my magic juice so those stay down. Well, let me grab my pins. Keep these closed. Okay, so now we're going to get the front of our little quilt. I'm just going to press this out real quick. We're going to place the backing piece on top, and it should fit in. I cut mine just a tad bit bigger because I wanted to make sure it was going to fit. And then you're going to get your batting. Put your batting on there on top. And then we're going to go back to our machine. I definitely would clip this all together. Okay, just like that. Let me grab some clips. And I'm going to clip this all together. We are going to sew this all the way around with leaving a little space in the bottom or on the side, wherever you choose. Okay, so I'm going to start at the bottom, go all the way around, and leave a little opening right here. And I would really truly prefer to use my 1/4 inch foot, so I'm going to take this foot off and grab my 1/4 inch foot. Make sure I tell the machine I'm using my 1/4 inch foot, which is 97. Okay, I'm still in a straight stitch. Okay, I'll just leave this thread on because it's all right. So I'm doing a tie off, and then I'll stitch all the way around. And make sure I leave a big enough space today to be able to turn. Okay, let me move a few things here so I can get to the cutting mat. ruler and my rotary, and then we'll just cut this off. And I clip my corners. All right, and then we're going to turn it. Okay, and so you're going to use your turning tool, get all of your corners poked out, and then iron it all up. And then I just use a little bit of the Steam-A-Seam 2.5 inch or 2.25 inch strip to close up my bottom area. But you can see that the way we put those little pieces on, they're all secure down, and all you have to do is put your rod right in there. It makes it really easy, and it's all taken care of for you. Okay, so all you have to do is press, turn, and close, steam that little opening shut. And then put your buttons on, and you are all set to go with your little January calendar. So I will be getting the February one all put together for you. So remember that our kit is somewhere here, and it is, here it is, $8.99, and you get all the fabric. You do need to add your own heat and bond and batting, but otherwise it's all set for you to go, and it's $8.99. And I hope you enjoyed this sewing project today. Again, if you want to use your IQ or turn this into embroidery, you most likely can. And I will see you again next week. Thank you for joining me today. Have a great day.